To learn to live the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Click the bell notification. It's all free. So it's another cloudy day again today. We've had a lot of these since October started. It's kind of the thing with winter. It's funny. In the summertime, you got lots of sun. And so the solar panels can absorb a lot of sun. The problem is the solar panels get so hot that, and you can Google this, there's an actual mathematical equation to figure out how to do this, that your voltage will drop on your solar panels. So that's why I actually keep them on the ground. A lot of people say I should just take them off the ground. I put them on the ground because I noticed they actually stay cooler. I got this little laser thermometer. I picked it up off the ground and it got hotter than it was on the ground because of that ground provides some cooling, I guess. I don't know why, but it was like 5 degrees cooler down there. So when you read the solar panel expert pages, they'll tell you that even though you're losing energy in the summertime, you'll pick that energy up in the wintertime because they're cooler. It's something like over 70 degrees, every degree it loses, I don't know, let's say half a volt or something. So you get up to 100 degrees and you're losing quite a bit of voltage. But that's okay, in the wintertime you'll make that up is what they say. Well, there's two problems with that thinking. One, the days are shorter in the winter. So no, you're not gonna make up that energy. Secondly, it's always cloudy, at least here in Missouri, in the winter. I'm trying to figure out how to get a good balance this year. Last year I didn't have a good balance of batteries versus solar panels. I got 1,000 watts, so I'm able to produce enough electricity to replenish what I use at night and then also run what I need during the day. So I've got enough solar panels. The panels are enough. The problem is the batteries. I don't think I have enough batteries. And now I'm sure there's some more sort of mathematical equation that you can figure out exactly how many batteries you need, how often the refrigerator is going to run, all that kind of stuff. What my problem is the wood heater. And I'm going to explain all this. So before you start typing all your solutions, I've been dealing with this for years now. The refrigerator, I have plenty of batteries to run on an average 70-degree day. The outside temperature gets up to about 80 degrees. It runs more and I don't have enough batteries. So with the wood heater in that little tiny house, the temperature in the house can get up to 90 degrees and then I let it drop down to 70, well actually about 66 degrees. Then I start the wood stove back up, gets up to 90 degrees and drops back down. And there's like this 12-hour cycle of doing that, running the wood stove twice a day. Well, in the daytime, it's no big deal how much that refrigerator runs because solar panels can keep up with it. But when there's no sun, the battery's got to run it. Now the daytime is getting shorter. That means the refrigerator has to stay on the battery longer and the temperature of the house is getting hotter. So the other day, I didn't run the wood stove at night. The batteries kept up just fine. So that means I got enough battery to keep the refrigerator running even though the days are shorter. But I don't have enough battery to keep up with the wood heater. Now, people will always tell me, take your refrigerator outside. We did that when we moved here. The refrigerator was outside. The problem with the refrigerator being outside is once the temperature drops below, I think 40 degrees, it may be 50 degrees, I don't know. But once the outside temperature gets to a certain temperature outside, the refrigerator doesn't work anymore. It won't kick on. Now you would think that's okay when it's 10 degrees outside. The problem is when it's 30 degrees outside at night and 40 degrees during the day, your meat will start to thaw out. We've already experienced this. When we were staying in this camper here, we had to bring it into the camper and there was just no room in the camper. So we'd have to cover it up with a shower curtain so we could take showers because it was in the shower basically. So we have to leave a refrigerator inside. So that just means I need more batteries. I'm not complaining about this at all. It's just one of these things that I'm trying to figure out. And I pretty much got a handle on it. Now, another problem I've ran into is I got a battery in there, it's almost 3 years old now. The other day, I had to replace the battery charger. I have a battery charger for cloudy days. I can do a maintenance charge. I bought a new one and it's a 25 amp battery charger. As the battery charges, the amperages drop on it. So I've been running it at 25 amps. Now, you can't select 2 amps, 10 amps, 25 amps, but I thought the new modern battery chargers took all that into account. So I just threw it on 25 amps and I started charging batteries. And boy, did they charge up real fast. It was like 2 hours and the batteries were charged. But then I noticed liquid was pouring out of these batteries. These batteries are wet batteries, they're lead acid. And I know, yeah, get lithium ion, battle-born batteries. I'm just not going to, I like my lead acid batteries. But I think I messed up. So liquid was pouring out of it. So when I opened it up, it was empty. So I may have a bad battery. So I filled it back up with distilled water and I charged it up again. I think the battery is fine. When I say fine, it's at a reduced capacity. Instead of having, these are 100 amp batteries, that means, but only 50 amps are usable amps. Stupid way to sell a battery. So they're actually 50 amp batteries. Lead acid batteries, you can only drain down to 50% or you'll ring the battery. So you get 50 amps out of these batteries. Well, I think I damaged it. Let's just say I'm getting 25 amps. Now, I could replace it, but I'm the kind of guy that says if a battery is still usable, I should use it until it's completely gone. It's like oil changes. Some people get their oil changed when it's down to 20%. I run it all the way down to 1% so I can use the entire life of the oil. Same thing with the battery. I want to use the entire life. Having too many batteries is not a bad thing to me. So if I have too many batteries after I, let's say this battery dies next year, that'll be 4 years, which is about the average life expectancy I can get out of these lead acid batteries. Then I can replace it and I'll have too much battery. Well, there's no such thing as too much battery. That's fine. I'll be happy with too much battery. So I went to Walmart today and I bought another battery. These are $89 at Walmart. They're the RV batteries. They're just so simple to use, easy to replace. I really like them. And I don't see the point in doing something that I don't like. I've always used them. I've used them even when I was setting up my very first solar panel set 15 years ago. They were yellow back then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire it up. This is not a hard job. You got a negative terminal and a positive terminal. I'm going to wire it up negative to negative. So I got multiple batteries in there. I got 5 right now, I think. They'll just sit right next to each other. So it goes negative, 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 positive, 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 all the way up to the charge controller, and the charge controller goes to the solar panels. I use just regular house wire, and I know, once again, nobody likes the idea that I do that. You got to have DC stranded. Well, I'm just not pulling that many amps. I don't need to worry about it. And the distance that it has to go, it's all about Ohm's law. People seem to think that this is the way you got to do it. It's just, in my mind, a marketing technique that you have to go out and buy special wire. It's copper wire. It works. I've used this for years. I've never, ever had a problem with it. If you feel like you need stranded wire, then you should by all means go get stranded wire. This is actually outside wire. I had some left over for my well. This runs into my well, and I can run that in my generator or off my solar panels. So I'm going to strip this off with my new handy dandy Swiss Army knife. This wire is completely wrapped up in the insulation. It's more difficult to use than regular house wire. Now all I got to do is wire stripper. Now my wire strippers are bent, so they don't work exactly right, but this is 12 gauge wire, and you should be able to just line that up with the 12 gauge right on the pliers, but I got to do it down one level more, down to 14. Somebody will say, well, they're cheap enough, just get yourself a new pair. I never think about getting myself a new pair. I don't know why. So at the end of the video, I'm going to link another video. It'll be right on the card here. It'll pop right up next to my face. It's going to be about the solar panels. Every piece that you need in order to hook up your own solar panel set. It's really easy in my mind. It's really cheap in my mind. And I encourage everybody at least go out and get one solar panel and a battery and a charge controller. Give it a try, an inverter. So again, if you could just watch that video after this video, it really helps the algorithm understand that you liked this video. So I've been using white on negative, black on positive. It's pretty simple. You just take this little nut here, it comes with the battery, and you screw it on after you get the wire wrapped around the terminal. It's a 9/16. There's nothing complicated about this. So I know there's a lot of people out there who will try to tell me that I got to use lithium-ion batteries. I'm just not convinced yet. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I'm just an old guy stuck in his ways. I've learned how to use lead acid. So when I talk about lead acid, some people say, hey, I use golf cart batteries, 6-volt golf cart batteries. And that's lead acid. That's exactly right. Mine is just a straight 12-volt system. 12-volt panels, 12-volt battery, 12-volt inverter. They say lithium-ion will last 10 years. And the thing is we don't really know if they will last 10 years because they haven't been out for 10 years to actually for anybody to test them. So even if they last 10 years, the Battle-Born batteries cost $1,000 for 100 amps. So my battery is 50 amps. It was a 100 amp battery, but it's only 50 usable. So that means I had to spend $160 to equal one lithium ion battery. My batteries last 4 years. I replaced them twice. Now we're up to $300 in the same lifespan, roughly, as the lithium ion batteries. Now, although the lead acid batteries will deplete in power in the wintertime, I can still use mine in the wintertime. Lithium ion batteries, you can't charge them below freezing temperatures. Now people will say, well, they come with heaters, you can put heaters on them. Well, then what's the point of having a battery and a solar system if I got to use energy to make energy? It seems a little redundant to me. So overall, in my mind, it's cheaper. The batteries last 4 years, are easy to replace. There's just a lot of advantages to me. So if you want to go spend $1,000 on lithium ion, by all means, you should go do it. I'm just trying to do this in what I see as cost effective. Battle-born batteries haven't proven themselves to me yet. Now, some people say, oh, you can buy lithium ion batteries for $200 here or there. I don't know enough about them to make educated decisions on them. I've tried to research them. I really have. And I just don't understand why Battle-born is selling theirs for $1,000 and some off-brand selling them for $200. I don't know. If something went wrong with the Battle-born, I burned it up, I messed it up, I froze it, I got to replace $1,000. I may have messed up a battery in here. I have to replace $89. Big difference. So again, if you can click this video that you see right here in the card somewhere around here, it's either here or here, I'm not sure, it tells the algorithm that you like this video. So I hope I can inspire you to make good decisions when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.